All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, very good. Okay, so I sent you a PDF file. Can you open that, please?
Yeah, wait a minute, please. Yes.
All right. So today we're gonna warm up with the word technique, and then we're gonna jump into the storytelling technique. Okay. So the word technique, basically, if we go to on page 3, it's see a word and then visualize an image. Okay, and the basic essence is to describe the image, describe what you see, describe the feeling, and tell us why is this image happening? What happened before or what's going to happen after? Why is this picture happening? Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we go to, and on page 4, I just kind of made it large. Describe the image, literally describe what you see, emotionally describe the feeling, and then purpose. Why is this happening? All right, so let's go to page 5, and there's a picture there.
Okay.
So instead of giving you a word, we're just going to warm up with a picture. So I'm giving you the image right now. So so describe for the 3 things, and if you see on page 4, so describe what you see, describe the feeling what's inside the picture, or the feeling how you feel when you look at the picture.
Okay.
And then 3, the purpose. It's just an exercise. So now we're on page 5, and go ahead.
A woman hugging herself. She is happy and peaceful. Because she is thinking about hugging some person. I see a child who is crying. The picture, the emotion is sad, because the child wanted something and the parents didn't give him this. Oh, it's okay. There is a guy who is I think what they call it. Yeah. He meditates, and the feeling is very peaceful and quiet, because he is alone, probably in some very high place. Well, I see, I see office workers with different pictures of emoji, smiles. I don't know how smiles, expressions of the face. and the atmosphere is funny because I don't know, because they're trying to put fake faces on his own to show emotions. There is a girl who is showing her palm with the word help. The atmosphere is very sad and probably a little bit hopeless. I feel like there is a hopeless. Because she probably needs help and nobody wants to help her. Page 10, I see different people with the different expressions on their faces. In the atmosphere is I don't know, something like very cool and emotional. Page 11, there is a guy who just, I don't know, woke up after nap, after some. Okay, a guy who is sitting in a park, and the picture very is happy and satisfied because he took a nap. And now he feels very fresh and active. Page 12, I see a teacher and a student. And the feeling is lost. And worry because the teacher probably asked a question and the student doesn't know how to reply, what to tell. So everybody is a little bit confused.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, that was our kind of warm up. And basically you're describing what you're seeing and then you're interpreting the emotional state and then you're telling us why is this happening. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go to the storytelling, all right? And we're going to go to page 15. And here, I'm going to give you a few words. And I want you to pick a same structure as before. You pick a keyword and then you find a story, something that you have experienced yourself.
Okay.
You bring it to the front of your mind and you visualize it, so you relive that moment by describing it to me. And this is the most important part of this exercise. Secondary, once you're really warmed up, once you really feel comfortable, then you look at the remaining words to see how to fit them into your story. Okay? Right?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so let's start with 156. So we're on page 15, line 156. And why don't you try the first 5 words.
First 5 words: sometimes, says, noise, hurt,
and
taken.
So I can choose 1,000 words. Your main focus right now is only to find the keyword that you're able to find a story associated to that keyword.
Okay.
Okay, so I could have chosen 20 words. It doesn't, to you, the main focus is the keyword and finding your story. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
So there was
wait, you got to tell me the keyword. Tell me the keyword.
Oh, noise.
Noise. Okay. So you only focus on getting your story associated to noise, and you only focus on visualizing, reliving that story. And do maybe 5 minutes. Just tell me for about 5 minutes your story. And then you can think about the other words. Don't even look at the other words. Go ahead.
Okay, so it was already about 11 p.m. and I was in my apartment. And there is a next door apartment. It was empty for a long time. And at that moment, looks like the owner of that place, they started renovation, because for a long time they rented to different people, and I think the apartment was really old, so they started renovation. And I know that, of course, while I was at the time I was at my work, they do some renovation in this, and it's a little bit it could be a little bit noisy, but it's okay because they do it from 6 or 7 in the morning till 6 p.m. So, but usually after 6 p.m. they finish all their work, because people come back home and they need to rest, right? And the surrounding, how to say, the people in my compound, they usually go sleep about 9 or 10 p.m. because mostly of them is already retired people, and they go sleep very late and wake up very early, get up very early. So it was about already, I think, maybe 11 p.m. and I was ready to go sleep, and suddenly I heard a noise, very, very disturbing noise that was at the wall. So somebody tried to drill it. And I was already in my bed. And that noise, it wasn't continuing it. It was kind of 1 to 3 seconds. Then it stopped, and then it continued again for 1 to 3 seconds. Or maybe sometimes they put noise for 3 seconds, then there's like a pause for 1 minute. Then there's noise again. So that noise, it's not that long, that it wasn't that long to make me to get up, to put on my clothes and look for who is that apartment. So But after 3 or 4 times, I finally got up and I went to see who is there. And then there is a guy, and he looked at me like he doesn't know what's going on. Everything okay. Like there is no guilty at his face at all. He's not even understand what's going on. Like to make noise after 11, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, he can understand how it can hurt anybody. So, of course, I tried to argue with him, but that guy, like a big guy, and he looked at me with a look like he still doesn't understand what's going on. And then, okay, he even didn't reply. So I didn't find that his face expression of agreement or disagreement. I just asked him not to continue that because it's already too late. But after 5 minutes, it started again. Probably he thought that I already went to sleep and I took off my clothes and I'm not going to do it, to repeat, to put on my clothes again and to go out again. But I did it. And in that moment, when I opened the door, there was already another man standing. So that guy, he's from the apartment below, under that apartment. But for me, if I usually go sleep about 11 or 12, for me, I still was okay. But for him, I'm sure he probably gets up about 5 or 6. So for him, noise at 11 o'clock, it's already very critical. He was very, very angry. Okay. And so that guy, and I heard some conversation. I didn't want to interrupt, but I heard that he said that if that noise will continue, he will call for police. And if I rent in that place, so I wasn't sure that I could call for the police, but I'm sure that guy who live in there probably last 20 years, and his mom and his dad also live there. I'm sure he knows the way how to call the police or maybe to call the other people. So sometimes, of course, they can make noise at 6 in the morning. That for me it's unusual because usually people wake up at 7. So 6 is very early. And I never complain about that because it's normal. But I saw when they make noise when the other people from that building doesn't want to hear it, they can really make some actions. So talking about that guy, I mean that neighbor who, he actually is not even a neighbor. He was a people who provide service, and he lived at that place for last 2 weeks because they probably work from morning till evening. And I think that his schedule was a little bit late. So he wanted to compromise by doing work at after 10 p.m.
Okay, so you can stop there. Did you use the word taking? Did you get to taking? No. You used the other four.
It's taken. Oh, I saw talking. It's taken.
Okay.
No, I
fine.
didn't take. No, I didn't use taken.
Okay, that was perfect. You did a really good job. That's exactly what we want. So what we're gonna do is you start your story, and then I will say now, and that means that now you start looking at the words when I can feel that you're there in your story. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. We'll do another one. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's do 159. Okay. read the words all the way to airplane. But it shouldn't matter to you, okay? The reason why I gave you 6 words is so you have more options. All you care about is finding the keyword and then go finding a story, okay?
Okay. Airplane.
Perfect. So all you focus is on airplane. Go find your associated story, something that you have experienced yourself. Bring it to the front of your mind, visualize it, and start telling me about your story. And don't think about anything else but describing that story. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was in the airport, at the airport, and I was waiting for my flight. But because of the bad weather conditions, the flight was delayed, and unfortunately, because that airplane already arrived, and actually we can see it through the window, they cannot start boarding because the weather condition is still bad. But authorities also didn't let us go and to have cafe or to eat, because anytime they get confirmation that the weather conditions is okay, they start boarding. So yes, so they were afraid that they don't have time limits, like they delay that flight for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. They said boarding can start any minute. So we all, I don't know, more than 200 people had to wait at the gate looking at that airplane. And it was already about 2 hours passed from that moment. So I decided that I can go and eat, because even if they start boarding at that moment, there is 200 people. So they at least need 20 to 30 people, 20 to 30 minutes to make all people to get inside the airplane. So I went to the opposite side of the airport, and there was McDonald's. And I was so nervous because I was afraid that I will be late. I would be late, so I looked and I found the closest a table with the name of a flight and the status for that flight. And there, and I had my watch, and I used my watch on the phone, but unfortunately my phone almost died. So of course I put a time limit. And the place where is McDonald's, there were so many people that at the same time I need to find a place to put my things. Every like 2 or 3 minutes go to the board to see the status of the flight, and at the same time somehow keep a line, because there were people lining to get the order. And the most disappointing was that hamburger. I know that it's not very healthy, but sometimes it could be very tasty. And at that time, it was no tasty, no nutrition, nothing. So I was very disappointed about that hamburger. I felt like I ate something like a paper.
Okay.
Um,
All right, you can stop now. I mean, you did really really well, but there were so many chances to get the words in there. Uh,
I don't know how to
well,
airplane I used.
you could have used plan that you made your plan to go
Oh,
eat,
okay.
and
Mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
know, and then you could say as the time approach, you know, uh, you could use the word. My anxiety grew and increased,
Uh-huh.
right? You got more
Uh-huh.
nervous. You could have
Mm-hmm.
said for the word, uh, you're waiting for the word from the stewardess before you can board. So there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but you did the most important part the best. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
your
Okay.
story was real, and I felt it. I felt you were really into it. So now, as you're really comfortable in there, and then now, the point, the second part of the practice is now you can see how well you understand those words, then you start using them.
Okay.
Okay, and but you've done the first part is the key. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's
Mm-hmm.
do one more. Is that okay? One more?
Yeah.
We do
Yeah.
one
Sure.
more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go to the next page, 16. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see. Okay. How about line number 60?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
During swimming,
Yes. Go all the way
lines
to dollar.
across middle dollar. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Remember, just get your keyword. That's the most important for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which
Okay.
keyword is what?
Swimming.
Okay. Also, too, when you store your story, give us a setting. Like like when did it take place? Was it last year, last June,
Okay.
during the
Okay.
summer? A little bit more setting so it's a little bit more engaging for the listener. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So when I went to see my parents last time, my dad he has so can you hear me? Can you hear me? So last time when I went to visit my parents, I went to a swimming pool with my parents because my dad he has a year ticket to swimming pool, and several times it in the several times during a year he can take several guests for free. So, but usually he goes every day. So we went to that swimming pool, and actually it's not a swimming pool; it's like leisure place. There is a big swimming pool in the middle, and then there is a small swimming pool for children at the left side. And the opposite side, there is a jacuzzi and a sauna where you can warm up a little bit before you go to cold water. And mhm, 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 mhm. So the swimming pool is very big. It's about 10 lines, and the distance is 50 or 100 meters. So it's pretty big. And the people actually is not that many unless there's a Saturday or Sunday. And across that swimming pool, that building, there is a movie theater. So sometimes after the swimming pool, go to see a movie, and usually the price is already very cheap because it's late, about 11 p.m. So there is a discount for late movies. And well, nothing happy. It just was a very good experience because first we went to the sauna. We sat there for several minutes while it became too hot, and then the sauna we took a shower, and then after that we went to a cold water and a swimming pool. The water wasn't that cold, but because you feel very hot after sauna, of course you feel like the water is really, really cold. And for me, uh, well, there was I don't remember, maybe 8 on. Yeah. I don't remember, maybe 8 or 9. I can't remember. There is like about 10 lines. Mm-hmm. I think it's about maybe $2, $2 or $3 at night.
There you go. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
See, right there, you had it already. You had it earlier. You're swimming.
Right.
The ninth lane, the 8th lane. You say you're going to the movie theater and it's very cheap, and you can just give, say, in rubles, and say that's equivalent to $3. It's coming out. See, it just, and if you cannot find it, then you go back to your story. And you give more, and then you come back out and you look, see if you can fix them, and they will cut. Okay, so I think today you did really well. I think this is now you're on your way in this direction. Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good. Okay, go to the all the way down to the last.
Okay.
28.
Yeah,
I want you
see.
to keep practicing the hear technique, which means you listen to the video clips, close your eyes. Listen to the pronunciation of Samantha saying the words, and then repeat it silently in your mind. And I'm going to send out another file which will have a word in a sentence. Okay?